Welcome to the Entertainment Rants Podcast, your number one opinion source for all things entertainment. Join host Marco Mazzola as he sounds off on the latest movies, TV, music, gaming, comic books, and more. Now, here's the man of the hour, Marco Mazzola.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Entertainment Rants Podcast. I am, as always, your host, Marco Mazzola, and today we are going to be taking a giant 3D shit in the mouth of Jaws. I can't wait. Let's say hello to our Ranters today. Hello, Mila.
Hello.
Hello, Larry.
Hey, hey.
And hello, Bruno.
We're going to need a bigger boat.
We're definitely going to need a bigger bucket. I think we're going to need a much bigger bucket on this one.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Don't confuse the people. It's not Jaws 1 that was shitting on.
No, it's not.
No.
No. We're going to need a bigger...
Jaws 3D.
Wow.
Dun, dun, dun.
Let's just go over that again. Jaws 3D. Because, you know, the first two, let's shit on those by making a really crappy one. And not that 2 was anything to write
Jaws
home
1
about.
was a classic. But
It's a classic.
Yeah. 2 is okay.
It's just...
Wait, would you say that Jaws 3D is jumping the shark?
It's a little bit shitting right in the shark's mouth.
It was so bad.
That was atrocious.
How bad was it?
Shark still looks fake.
Really bad.
The shark, I mean, not as bad as Jaws 4, but it's really bad.
I don't think I've ever seen Jaws 4.
I've never seen
Michael
Jaws
Caine?
4.
Yeah, no,
I don't
Michael Caine
plan
does
on
For me,
bad
this
watching.
is a wrap.
I've
Yeah.
never seen Jaws 4.
I don't plan on watching Jaws 4.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things where, like, if you've seen the first one and now you have, like,
You have to watch the next one.
take a
just
couple hours
because.
and just
How about I
watch
just
it, just to say, you know what, I've seen all
don't?
4, and you can just really compare.
In for a penny, in for a dollar.
Pretty much. So this one stars Dennis Quaid and Bess Armstrong. So Dennis Quaid,
It's a hell of a cast.
It's a
good
good cast.
It
Yeah.
really is. Louis Gossett Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was known as because it was Lewis because he goes by Lou. No, was it always Lewis or Lou Gossett? Because
So
I think in Iron Eagle he goes by Lou Gossett.
It might be.
But it's a young
Leah
Louis-
Thompson, who I forgot was in this movie.
Yep.
John Putch and Simon McCorkindale, who played Philip.
That sounds like a
Fitzroyce.
fake.
I know, right? It's definitely a Hollywood name. It's definitely like an actor name, absolutely. But again, a decent cast.
I mean, Louis Gossett. I mean, these guys were huge. Leah Thompson. I mean, they're all...
Well, I think it's a young Leah Thompson. Like, we don't really know who she is yet.
This is 83, so
Right.
it's actually 2 years before
Back to the Future. Right.
Because that was 85.
Right. So you have young people. I mean, Dennis Quaid, which is kind of ironic how I think it was like 2 or 3 years after this movie, we see Dennis Quaid and Lou Gossett Jr. again in another movie.
Right.
Which
I
is...
like how in the writer's credit, it's like, Peter Benchley, who wrote Jaws, suggested by the novel Jaws.
Yeah, suggested, yeah.
That's one way to put it. The
loosely based on
this.
We have an idea about a shark.
At one point, we heard about a story that had a shark.
Someone
giant
explained
shark.
to me what happened in Jaws.
Yes, I ran with it.
I just made this and I wanted to make it 3D. And this is early. It's not, I was researching. 3D has actually been around for a long time. If you look it up online, you can see a history of 3D cinema. Goes back.
That's like in the 50s and stuff like that. You can go to the
Earlier.
earlier.
I see there's like a 1894, 1915.
Oh.
Obviously, it's not what it is today. But then, like you said, in the 50s,
it was used because
had
the drive-in theaters and stuff. Yeah.
Massive surge, and then again in the 80s, it had another massive because the technology got better. 79 through 85 had like another technological jump in how it worked.
Yep.
But this one did not jump well. This one just didn't keep up with it. So we were talking about this earlier. So watching the movie in 3D, which I did. I remember seeing this in the theaters with my 3D glasses. It looked really bad. Now watching it in 2D, it looks atrocious.
It's incredibly bad.
You can definitely tell like where they were forcing the 3D. Is like, yeah, you've seen other 3D movies even from that time. I don't remember seeing like the black outline around the item that's supposed to be coming at you, and this was really bad. It was like, hey, this is the 3D thing coming at you just in case you're not paying attention. It was really fun.
Yeah.
And that was more like the animated parts. Like at the end, I know we're jumping to the end, but like when the shark blows up, spoilers, and then they blow up the shark again. And like you see like its guts, and then it's like part of its jaw.
Stuff.
Yeah.
It
like clips
and like
in,
it slows down. Right,
really bad. And then it stops.
It stops.
And it's like, boom, there it is.
There.
And then it clips out, and
I
then
remember
it's replaced
like
with
trying to
something
grab
else.
at it. Yeah, I
And
remember
it
trying to
hung
grab.
for like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember the theaters trying to grab at it, and you know the whole theater was doing the same thing. Like, oh, look, it was really cool. But it was just atrocious. So let's go through the story a little bit because we talked about this offline.
Wait. First of all, we have to talk about the fact that the shark growls. They don't have vocal cords.
You want to get that? You want to run off the window?
They can't growl underwater.
Yeah, sharks don't make that sound.
Not
Shark was
underwater.
They make no sound.
No.
They go.
Does not happen.
Make the story 3D, make it bad, but don't make the shark growl. That would be like having, any other. It'd be like having a cat roar.
Superman push the moon.
Like Superman push the moon. Be like having, let's say, an eternal,
popping
pop out of the earth,
and the earth doesn't spin off into
off its
space.
axis.
Kind of like that.
It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, the shark.
So one thing on this show we love to do: one is tangent, and two is callbacks.
Oh yeah,
to our own shit.
Yeah.
We call back our own. It's got to be annoying for the audience, but I don't care. We love it. So anyway.
Yes, you'll have to watch the episode.
Yeah, you have to listen to that episode. And we are on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is coming out nicely, flushing out all of our episodes onto our YouTube channel, which is really fun and interesting to do. So we're going to get those up wholly as soon as possible. Get the whole catalog up on our YouTube channel. So anyway, back to Jaws 3D and this dumpster fire, which is really what they should have put the can of the film.
So they got a bunch of stuff wrong with sharks, right? So sharks can't swim backwards either.
Yep.
Yes, that's
they
right.
Can,
when it
they can
comes
only
out-
swim forwards and they can't stop.
That's
when
right.
it's in the
And
tube,
when he backed out of the
They'll
tube,
die.
impossible. He would have gone in, never gotten out.
It was barely touching the gate with its tail. There's no way it bent that post out.
Yeah.
Because it
a
can't
big
swim
shark.
backwards, and it's gently grazing it with its tail. There's
was a
no
big
way
shark.
it bent that thing out of it.
35-foot
No way.
shark.
There's no way it was putting
Big
enough
shark.
pressure
Big-ass shark.
on that gate to bend that metal rod. It was,
no.
tipping it with its the tip of its tail. There's
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah,
Some rattling maybe, but not bending it out.
A lot of completely false shark facts
Yes.
in this
Yeah,
movie.
yeah. They don't float; they sink. They're heavier than water, so they should have. When that shark and the baby dies,
yes.
should have sunk to the bottom. Not like she let it go and it floated.
It just flipped over and floated. Yeah.
So I'm glad that you went to there because that was one of the things I had an issue with. So let me get this straight. A baby great white shark dies in front of all those people, and nobody freaks the fuck out. Like,
they're
yo!
freaking a little
Yeah,
bit.
right?
No, bullshit.
No, they only
what
freak
about
out
that
when they
observation
start
pool?
going
Like,
in.
people could just reach in and get their hands bitten off. What's
Yeah.
that about?
Yeah.
Why was that? Why didn't they have a huge fucking fence or
Yeah.
a glass
Yeah.
wall?
He's
or-
like, just put it in the tank where you can pet it.
Right,
It's
where we
fine.
pet, like,
And
the-
you're like,
the stingrays
what
or the
hell?
turtles or
She's like,
something.
what
Yeah,
is
sure.
it
and she
doing
was
there?
petting it like a dolphin.
Yeah.
Right? You can't like one direction. I think the forward direction that like its skin is super
Yeah,
rough.
yeah, their skin is very, very rough.
Yeah, it's really abrasive. So like she
little,
could go
little
one
razors almost.
From nose
Like
to tail,
sandpaper.
it's probably slick because that's how it swims.
Probably,
So that's
and then the
aerodynamic.
other
Of course,
way-
going the other way. It's probably one of the reasons it doesn't swim backwards. It
Yeah.
catches a lot of,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
So
tailwind.
Lot of
they
seaweed.
clearly did not consult with any shark
They've
experts.
never seen a shark
No.
in
They've
their
never seen a
lives.
shark.
I
In
don't
their
know if
lives.
they've ever consulted with a shark expert in any of these movies, but this one definitely was really over the top. with
There
it.
was
They're like, what's a shark? Hey,
Just a
can you
lot
like
of
draw
problems.
one
And
real
then, and
quick?
then it easily
Huh.
broke the glass to the observation room under the water.
Yeah, that's-
Like,
Tip-a-tap, yeah.
it was like what? A
But it wouldn't
quarter
be
inch
glass.
And that
it wouldn't be
gorgeous
even then, it
shattering
wouldn't be
effect
glass.
too.
It'd probably be
was
like
great.
a poly
Yeah,
carbonate or something,
Yeah,
plexi.
absolutely.
Yeah, it'd be like mega thick.
It would,
So-
right? It'd be like
Because
Even though
you're
it's 6
underwater,
inches.
like
Yeah.
the
Even though it's
pressure
a
there.
30-foot
It's
shark,
Yeah.
it's not going to swim fast enough to break that. If it could break that easily, the pressure from the water would have already broken
done
it.
it.
Yeah,
Would have already
yeah.
crushed that glass.
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
but we as fans and people watching the movie, we need to be scared of this thing coming at us because it's obviously in 3D. So we need that shark to come in
Yeah,
at
that
our
has to
face.
be kind
So
of-
it would have to. Again, it's a suspension of disbelief. In all seriousness, I had a couple of issues with this movie. It was a bad movie. It was a shitty movie. It's not the worst movie that I've seen. For me, it was just kind of like in the background, but there were definitely. The whole shark concept, like everything that had to do with a shark, was absolutely fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like every
Yeah.
concept of it.
Explain.
Yeah, It's like
So-
the
So,
like,
no,
half
she's
the
not going to let
movie-
you talk.
Oh, no,
all right.
continue. Sorry, Larry, continue.
I missed my thought now. Go ahead.
Oh, there it is.
No,
Check your
you're
notes.
talking
Check your
about-
notes.
I know.
No, what about the submersible they went in the water under, right? Like
Yeah.
it literally like disappeared at some point, so the green screen, it keys out. You like they fucked that up. They fucked everything up about it.
So that's actually
Let's go to the budget.
yeah, back to the
We're talking
budget
a lot
part.
of budget today.
So I mean,
feel
for
like a
this one,
goddamn
I like
accountant today.
the CGI on it was fucking bad, man. And-
20.5 million was the budget.
Okay.
Gross worldwide.
20.5.
Yeah, 20,000.
So that's
20
so we know
million.
that's low.
We know that's low.
No, we know that's
so
low.
that was less than
that
He-Man.
time.
That was less than He-Man and just a little bit more than
But
Superman
not
4.
nearly the amount of special effects and costumes and everything.
I don't
like
know. Everything was special effects, like all the 3D.
Yeah, no, I get what you're
3D is
saying. I get
probably
what
where
you're
they put all that
saying. A lot
money.
of laser shooting guys floating around.
But
and
it-
things.
but no, for nothing.
also costumes.
Yeah.
Right. In He-Man, you had Eternia, which had
So
to be
wait.
completely
So
made
you're
up.
saying they
Part
could
of-
have paid for a shark expert?
Yes, exactly
So
right.
wait. So part of
Absolutely.
that budget
But it
is
grossed
paying for the actors,
87,
right?
Almost 88 million.
Well, of course it did. That was a straight money grab
believe
off,
that.
off of coming off of
Well,
part
not
one,
only
part
the
two.
shark,
They
Jaws
even
1
made
and 2, the
most
3D
of the movie a
aspect of it.
SeaWorld
Right. So-
ad.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
talked
it's a
about
giant
that. It
SeaWorld
was a
ad.
giant
It was a
SeaWorld.
huge
God
SeaWorld
knows how
ad.
much they had to license that for.
And that's what I was wondering. Like when I was watching, I was like, did somebody just get raped because they just said SeaWorld 1,000 times? Like somebody had to pay for this hard.
Every
How?
time it gets said, every time somebody plays that
it's-
movie.
and it was-
SeaWorld
so
gets
not
low
only was
budget.
it the word SeaWorld,
Give
it
him
was
a
the
check.
imagery. I think it was like the same
Oh,
logo.
yeah. It was legit.
And let's not forget about Shamu the Wheel.
Yeah, it was.
That was like so. These are all licensed
Yep.
things that Disney had, or SeaWorld has rather.
Which
Yeah.
is
They had to
surprising.
pay for something.
But in '87, maybe they did that more often. Whereas like nowadays, so back then you would see a lot more like a can of Coke or a Frosted Flakes. You pay nowadays. It's really tough because some things are so effing expensive.
Yeah.
To license, everybody kind of caught on. Like we can charge a lot more of this.
Yeah,
I listened to
maybe.
the Office Ladies podcast with Jenna Fisher and Angela Kinsey, and they talk about the show and like they'd have to like license a song, just
Yeah.
like 3 seconds of a song. It's like $20,000 or like $2 million for this. Like it's ridiculous. Like no, we
Yeah.
can't do that because it's just way too expensive.
And they make it superly expensive, right?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So that's now, but back in '83.
Yeah, maybe they could get away with it
They
a lot
can get
more.
away with it more, like and what the surprising was like I can understand if SeaWorld was like, oh, that's awesome, yeah, of course, that's like an advertisement for us, put us in it, but it's not a great advertisement for them because the shit goes wrong, right?
Yeah.
Because there's other shows who wanted to license like Beverly Hills Cop 3. Shitty movie. We'll get to that one eventually. Like it's not even Wally World. It's like it's not Disney World. It's not Disneyland because they're like no, like there's counterfeiting.
Isn't it like Wally Land or something like that?
Yeah, I forget what it's
I
called.
don't know.
So like,
Schmiz me schmurled.
yeah, so they're like we have to license. We're not going to let it's a completely made up thing because Disney doesn't want us to like.
No.
Not only is it expensive
Sully
because
the
it was
great
later
name.
on, but
Well,
yeah, there's like
they don't wanna-
there's counterfeiting going on underground, and people get like they don't want that.
Dude, you can't yuck someone's yum.
Well, that's it. So, but apparently in this time you could. In Jaws 3D, you absolutely could because does not paint SeaWorld in a very good light. People are underground, getting eaten by sharks.
No, I don't
It's not
know.
a great advertisement
I think
for them.
SeaWorld is happy to be a part of it. I think.
Well, I
It was
would
probably
think
just to get
back
the name
then,
out.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
you get
like I said,
you get the name out there.
Because they did also flex a lot of their shows.
I just wonder if, like today, they would have, not that they wouldn't put in a movie.
I think
would they
today
put
you
in
wouldn't.
this movie?
Yeah,
No,
I
I
think
don't
today you
think
no.
so
want to.
because it shows it in a negative light. Because
Right.
Yeah.
That's
And
all.
plus
Exactly.
SeaWorld-
Not that they
Also, the
wouldn't
fact
want
that
to
no
be.
one likes SeaWorld anymore because,
SeaWorld
like,
caught a
looking at,
huge-
like, ever since, like, that documentary Blackfish came out,
Yeah.
it's like, no dice. Everyone, they're like...
Yeah,
they're
they're really hating
Oh,
on
yeah.
SeaWorld.
Or Free Willy, like, literally, like, all those movies that and documentaries that came out.
But I
you're
think
like,
that's for anything. Like I just went to the zoo the other weekend with my son. I'm kind of like, this is kind of depressing.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's like a puma there. There's like all these. It was a jaguar, which my
Just
son
looks-
absolutely loved.
Yeah.
That thing looked like, dude, kill me. You come back next week, I want to be hanging from the rafters
Yep.
because this sucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a one-armed monkey
Yep.
still kicking around
Oh,
in there.
Jesus.
yeah.
Like swinging on his
Yeah.
one arm.
Or, like, seeing all the orcas with the
Legit.
flopped over
His
fin.
right arm stops at the
Down-
elbow.
It, like, hurts a little bit. You're like, oh, you
I
should.
mean, he's like swinging with
shouldn't
one arm.
be
It's really
here.
freaky.
If you go to some of the local farms, you can sort of you can see normal farm animals, not like jaguars and
Yes.
shit like that. And that's kind of fun. Like I brought
Does
my
it?
son to that. One of the farms we went to, there was literally a fucking anaconda. It was just like, it was like a baby, so it wasn't that long. But my son got to hold it, which
Wow.
was wild.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I mean,
We go
the
to,
person
is
was
it
right
Russell
there.
Orchard?
just checking it out.
Is it Russell Orchard? We like that one. They have like those cider donuts and stuff like that. They make really good wines and stuff like that.
cider
They have
donuts.
a little animal farm up there. We've been there a couple of times. It's actually one of my favorite pictures of my son and me and my wife together. We had a blast up that one. It was
Yeah.
just like a little goats.
Yeah,
and
I'm okay with those kind of
horses.
Yeah,
farms.
but like
But,
farm,
zoos
like
seem
farm
like-
animals are like kind of
why
the
are we
thing
doing
is
this?
they're like born and raised and supposed to they do live there. They've got no place in the wild anymore now because we
Yeah,
just,
you've got like some
But the
sheep
jaguar,
and
you
stuff
saying
like
should
that.
not be in captivity?
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
probably
Yeah, no, it shouldn't. You're right. You're
unless,
absolutely right. It
unless
should
it's
not
like
be.
a
Just show me a
sanctuary
picture,
for
show me a
like
video.
those,
I don't need to see this poor cat that's supposed to be living out in the wild. Just,
in an enclosure that's just not that big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
unless it's like rescued from some of those assholes who buy like big cats and keep them in apartments for their whole lives,
poachers and
stuff like that, poachers, injured animals. I agree. Unless it's like that, then I'm like,
take on it. Yeah.
But as long as it's like they're
like
bringing
the monkey
them
with
back
one arm,
to then again release it once they like kind of get it safe and then release it again. You know what I mean? Like safely release it back. But if they're just going to keep it till it dies, like that's a little fucked up.
I mean, it depends on who they are and why they got rescued. But I hear you. I think you're right.
I don't think the one-armed monkey's going to make it.
He's made it for years.
No, in the wild.
Oh, in the wild, no way.
No, definitely not. He's not flinging enough poo.
Everybody knows
you only got one arm to fling your poo. There's no way you're making it.
One arm swings, one arm flings.
No, he's got one arm.
I know, so he's only got one, so it's like...
There's no flinging.
So no flinging
No,
for
then
you.
he'll just stand on the branch with like a stance and then
No fling for you.
No fling for you.
No fling.
Question, when they do the budget for the movies, does that also count how much they're paying their actors as well?
Yeah, that's all comes out of the budget.
That's what I'm saying. So this had how much for the budget?
$20 million.
$20,500,000. $20 million, and they were still paying Dennis Quaid, Lou Gossett Jr. So like, how much were those guys
at the very
making?
beginning of their careers?
Right, but still though. I mean,
83, not height of Dennis Quaid's career, certainly.
And also not the height of paying, big
not
name
like the
actors.
$20 million
Jim Carrey, $20 million in episode. He was one of the first ones to start getting that kind of.
When did Over the Top?
He was one of the first one noted as kind of getting like $20 million an episode.
Stallone got $12 million in Over the Top, and I think that was like 86, 87. Yeah. So it wasn't a thing until like then. I think he was the first one to.
And let's face it, Dennis Quaid is not Stallone. He didn't bring in the kind of money that Stallone brought in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So you might have paid him a couple $100, maybe.
Yeah.
I definitely want to know. How much did you get paid, Mr.
And again, Leah Thompson has not hit back to
yet,
so
right.
No, she's not making a ton of money on this.
Yeah,
one either.
so this is the beginning of their career, so they were probably inexpensive, right? They were.
Yeah. I mean, whatever that means, more money than I'm making, but it's okay. It's all right.
No, I mean they made plenty of money.
They did. So let's talk about the fact that. You were mentioning this earlier, right? Mike Brody, played by Dennis Quaid, he's back in the water. Like he's kind of like come to terms with what happened to when he was a kid. His brother, played by John Vachon,
was one hell of a
definitely
therapist.
leaned into the fact that I don't want to go anywhere near the water. He moved to Colorado.
That makes
more sense to me.
Yeah,
that makes way more sense.
Yeah.
I remember the skit. I think it was John Panette who was talking about that. He's like, you had Jaws 1 and then Jaws 2, which was completely ridiculous because you had this, the lady to get the kids, and the next movie brings them right back to the beach. And I can imagine just kicking and screaming the whole way. Like, remember Timmy?
I mean, not for nothing.
Not going.
Not for nothing, but after Jaws 1 come out, we all know it was a movie.
Yeah.
There were people in real life going, no, I'm all set. I'm not going.
Oh, no.
I just saw Jaws.
No, dude, that was me, man. I was like, I'm not fucking going. When I saw that movie, I was like, I'm good. I'm good. I'll stay near the beach.
Yeah.
We watched this knowing it was a fucking movie, knowing it was made up, knowing it was a robot fucking shark. We still said, I don't want to go in the water.
Yeah.
This supposedly happened to them.
I'll call somebody.
Yeah.
I see you jerking. I'll call somebody.
Yeah.
I'll call somebody.
Yeah.
This happened to these people.
I'm jumping in to save your ass.
And the older brother's like, yeah, I'll go work at SeaWorld. Dude, what?
Well, I mean, I think there's a difference, right?
I
wouldn't want to go deep into the water in the ocean, but like SeaWorld, you're just in a pool. So I could see him.
But they're out in the lagoon and stuff like that.
And you wouldn't think, you're right, though, but you wouldn't think the sharks are coming in. It's supposed to be protected, and they have the gates to stop things like sharks and stuff like
Larry,
that.
Larry, you're right. If it were me who's like experienced that crazy trauma, I'd have been like, never gonna go in the water.
Yeah, I would be more
I
like
may not
John.
even take a shower, right?
Or you might
more like
not
Sean
want to,
Brody,
I don't know, work
I'd have been like his brother.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go in unless there's
What's
like a super hot
in the dead
girl.
center of the country away from the oceans? I'm going there.
How far can I get away from the water?
Yeah.
I'm going to
only halfway, because then you go back towards the water again.
Yeah, but again, like that was one of my biggest things. I'm like, Dennis Quaid's character is like kind of like all nonchalant. He's like, oh yeah, and now here's the best part. You know that there's a shark in there now. Like this motherfucker goes in the water.
Yeah,
are you out of your mind?
I gotta save the day, baby. I gotta save the day. I'd be like,
I'm like, dude, there's a shark in the water.
She was like, it's my job. Remember?
Cool.
Even he went back in.
He did too. But
he goes back in.
You and I would be like, Can I space in that apartment in Colorado? Any room for me?
It's like, how about this? Why don't we get everybody the hell out of here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the thing. I mean, that was...
He's got a hero complex.
The Brodies
But
and
that
their
was like the
sharks.
Lou Gossett Jr. He's the catalyst for that because he's one of that characters, like in the original where the mayor's just like, nah, it's fine, open the beaches. He's kind of that same character of like, yeah, it's okay. Just
they really went with like corporate greed on that
Yeah,
one.
exactly.
Yeah.
That was the anyway. Like,
Corporate
don't worry
greed.
about it. It'll be fine. It's all right. Nobody's getting eaten. We're good. Keep the ship running. We got to make the money. We're not going to shut down that thing because it costs $1 million to replace that pump.
Yeah.
He's doing everything he can to get motherfuckers eaten.
Yeah,
That's
he's
all
like,
he was
yeah,
doing.
yeah,
Oh my god, yeah.
He's turning everybody into a moving buffet. And that's all he cared about.
He's like, we got to feed that thing.
We got to feed that. This is our money
It's getting
maker.
hungry.
Well, in his defense, he thought that they had caught the actual...
Sure.
Right?
Absolutely.
Right.
The 10-foot shark
Yeah.
was just the baby, but he was like, all right, we got whatever the issue was.
I had forgotten that too. Like I rewatched. I'm like, oh yeah, shit. That's the baby shark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was when I hit play. I was like I kind of forgot, but then I remember like I actually forgot that it was part of SeaWorld. But when I hit play, I was like, oh, that's right. This is the SeaWorld one. I go, oh, this is the one with
That
the
one I
mother and the
remember.
baby.
Although
That one,
another
yeah.
shark fact, mothers don't go and look after their young. Once sharks are born, they're like, all right, good luck.
they're like, have a good day.
Bugger off.
You know, also
Yeah, get
before
away from
they're
me.
even
Leave me
born,
alone.
they're like King of the Ring. Like who's dying? Who's actually gonna get birthed? You know, it's like
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's
That's,
brutal.
like,
They're not like
before
protective
they're even
of their
born.
kids.
Right, no.
Go get a job. You like.
Hey, can we talk about
Goddamn
the opening
Carrying
scene,
your
by
ass
the way?
around for I don't know how long because I have no idea how long sharks are pregnant.
The opening scene.
Talk to me.
Underwater, fishy, swimmy.
Missy Fishy across my ocean.
As they start.
As they start, boom, 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 boom. John Williams, shark theme. And I was like, ooh, another John Williams. I love that guy. Boom, 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 boom. You see, it looked like a grouper, I think. But he gets eaten. Blood goes everywhere. And all of a sudden, the fish head starts to turn. Because it's just a fish head.
Yeah.
And the lips are still moving.
Yes. It's still
And I'm
talking
looking at it
because it wants to
going,
make the 3D
wait a minute,
effective.
what the hell is going
We're
on
not
here?
even past the intro.
The head.
Yeah, at the intro, it was bad.
That's when I went, oh my
Right out
God,
the
I
gate.
forgot how bad.
I mean, it was
shitty this-
laughable how bad.
It really was.
Yeah.
It actually reminded me of, you know, the singing fish.
Yeah.
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 Give me that fillet of
Hello,
fish.
my God.
That's
Yeah.
what it reminded me of. And I'm like, you gotta be shitting.
I knew it
me.
was going to be really bad after the guy initially goes down to fix the gate lock.
Oh,
and
with
he
no
gets eaten.
tank and no nothing.
Yeah,
and
he just goes down
hanging
holding
out.
his breath. And then, like, first of all, why
He's
was
got the
he
goggles on,
Why
that's
was he
it.
paranoid, right? What made him paranoid? And if he's that paranoid, get out of the water.
He shouldn't have been in there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's
Nothing other than some couple of fish.
Yeah.
If this is his job, he wouldn't be that
He
paranoid.
looked really skittish. Right?
Yeah,
Why was he so
real
skittish? And then he got
kept
eaten.
looking around.
And I knew it was going to be bad as soon as like the arm floated forward and just like hung there. And I was like, oh fuck, this was terrible.
But you know what, though? I love the payoff on that.
Yeah.
Because we see it later on in the movie.
Yeah.
And they're looking for him. And I go, ooh, I wonder where they're going to find him. And I forgot that his head
right
comes right against
That
the
was
window.
pretty
And
good.
it,
That was
every
pretty
time I was
good.
like, oh, that was good. Yay.
Hey, we got the head. We got the
Yeah,
we got the
that's
big
half
head.
body. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
Hey,
Yeah, but then when you see it,
That's one of the
when you
things
see
you
it
go,
in
that was
the in the
cool.
room,
Oh, yeah,
it's
it looks
got
got the-
maggots or something, and it's like
got,
that
like,
wouldn't
the
be
crabs and-
that wouldn't
Yeah.
be
Yeah, I love the
not from
crab.
underwater.
It was like a little
I love the little sea crab.
yeah, they didn't like
Yeah.
hold
They
it
wouldn't have
down,
done that. Yeah,
like,
that wouldn't
nah,
be
nah.
done.
Nobody shoot
But-
the crab away.
That wouldn't have been
No.
there.
They're like, oh hey, yeah, no, you can stay.
Yeah,
My
but
bad.
I mean, seeing
My
that
bad,
guy
pal.
underwater like
It's
that,
a
I was like,
langoustine. It's like one of those
Yeah.
little lobsters. You're like
I get the people that like that
Crawfish.
free
Let me
dive and
shove
stuff
that
like
away.
that.
Yeah.
You know, the people that go down the free dive with just like a knife, flippers, and a mask, and I get that. This dude was down there like doing work. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
for a
know how long.
period of time.
Like he can hold.
So
his
apparently,
breath,
like him and Superman. Superman can hold it in space like Marilyn Hemingway, and he can hold it underwater.
That's right.
shit movie.
There's a lot of breath holding in these movies.
Yeah, so I mean that one kind of like threw me off, but
It was weird he didn't have a tank.
yeah, just,
Yeah.
no tank.
Why
Absolutely.
wouldn't you?
Everybody
like,
else has a
trust
tank in
me.
this movie.
And
Everybody's
I
got
can
a
why-
hold my
tank.
breath
Why are you
for
doing that
20
work at night?
minutes. No.
Why aren't you waiting to do that work of the day? Right?
Who was closing the? He was closing it, right?
No, it was. I thought it was already locked.
No, he was
No,
locking.
he
it.
was he was locking it in, but I think he was trying to like fix it or whatever, and
Yeah.
and because remember they were like, "Hey, we're gonna stay in overtime." He was like, "No, you close up
Okay,
shop
but-
and no
Okay.
overtime for
Again,
you
it's
guys."
a trope to have him die to
Yeah.
be eaten.
Yeah.
But the reality is he's going down there to lock the gate. would you really pay somebody every day to go down? Wouldn't that just be like a mechanical thing that just locks?
Well, just like every other. Wait,
you don't need that padlock.
It's very expensive.
You mean like every other gate that they had that they hit the button
and all that?
Except this one.
This one,
quick,
he's
shut
going
the
to
gate
go down
so
a chain and a master lock and flick the key. Like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah, that was
just
terrible.
Come on.
Well, a lot of those,
made no
a lot of the
sense.
other gates were like that though. It was hit the button and because they
Yes.
call it, they're like, hurry up, hit the button before
Even
the
if they
shark
had a
gets in.
latch or something like that. Whenever they had these things that like when the shark backs itself out and is like that piston
Somehow.
lock, like
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense that these things are like down there on
I
an
mean,
average
it's
day.
plot reasons, right? They're just
It's-
like,
it's
we need to get
total
this guy in the
reasons.
water.
Because even back then, you'd have had with all those computers that they had,
Right.
which are really funny to look at, by the way, with the big reels and all that.
Oh my
shit.
God!
It's really
So those reels are
like
used in data centers.
Yes.
For the most part, I'm not sure what kind of data you need to store and retrieve
Well,
when you're looking at sharks.
No, I think you're right, but I think at some point it's like we're recording these animals and
How
we
many
record what
circles did the shark
happens.
make today?
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
that's what
recording
you're
data
doing?
on
But
them.
those things were rolling, and I was like, what are they storing? What are they
you know
restoring?
you know
what are they
what that
grabbing?
is? That
It's
is
corporate. You
hey,
record everything.
Yeah.
We need props. What do
Yeah.
we got in the back room?
100%. What's in the computer
Grab
room?
They grab this from the
Tape
airplane
reel-
movies.
these tape reels?
From the
Yeah.
airplane
Look, there's
movies.
comically big buttons everywhere.
Someone watched the airplane movies like, we need those things.
Get me those. Get me those.
Whatever those are, get them for
I'm
me.
on it, Hal. That's awesome. So yeah, and that was really tough. Like when you see them like locking gates underwater, like you really go down there every day.
Yeah, that's
You lock
weird.
that. I don't think you do that. I think it's a
No.
mechanical thing that just
Yeah.
opens itself up and it latches by itself.
I think you're just doing this for kicks, aren't
I
you?
think you're doing it just to kill people, just to get people eaten.
Son of a gun.
It's really bad. And then I get like I know you can actually go underwater and weld. Like that didn't bug
Yep.
me.
Yeah.
That's
underwater
was
welding.
fine.
Sure.
I have a problem with that. But again, the shark coming out of the tube backwards and breaking through that
Not a thing.
gate.
Not a thing.
No, they don't. They don't go backwards, and there's no way it was hitting that thing hard enough.
Nope.
It's a big tail, but it was not hitting that thing hard enough to knock
Yeah,
that
no.
piston like that. Like, oh my god, look at it! Look how it's doing that. Like, please, it's not.
To jump forward a little bit, when he was trying to unhook the grid. First of all, when the shark ate the English guy,
Yeah.
and we saw from the inside, he
Oh
couldn't
my
shut his
God.
mouth all the time.
Oh my god.
That was hilarious.
Oh my
Come
god.
on.
I
How did he even get in
stand
there?
that.
Because
He was like, you're running. Oh, no. Ah. And he's just like,
was
I
like,
got
yeah.
laughed my ass off watching that.
I was like, there's-
no.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way I'm watching this right now.
You're totally watching this
I
right now.
did not think I would see this camera angle.
And then, like, the
ever
blood spurred.
in a
And I was
chest.
like, what the
No,
Yeah.
because the prior frame, you see him swimming away, and the shark's kind of bumping his foot. And then all of a sudden, he's full on in the shark.
'Cause that's how
feet
it works.
First, the shark didn't bite him along the way, getting into
Nope.
the mouth. It swallowed him whole.
Deep throat.
Yeah, it's deep throating. It's basically Empire Strikes Back when they go into the monster in the asteroid.
Yep.
Like, that's it. The shark never bit him on
Never
the way
bit him on the way in.
That's the way it
No.
works.
Just
Even though
swallowed him like a
the Jaws shark is always chomping for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's.
But then this is the time where it stops.
I'm gonna swallow
Well,
this
to
just
bastard
swallow
whole.
him.
And the
Hole.
best is he's trying to shut it.
And then he
But it could be because of the tank, and you just see this, and then also you saw the blood. So now, again, I watched it, and I laughed my ass off. I
Yeah.
was like, you gotta be shitting me
It was
on this.
really bad.
But then the payoff of the guy being stuck in the shark's mouth, which clearly he was just stuck right in the mouth the whole time.
You talking about with the bomb?
yeah.
Yeah.
So this.
But he was dead, wasn't he? He was
But
dead.
no,
He was dead.
But he had
Holding the thing.
Why would your hand, when you're dead like that, why would your hand remain like tightly closed around?
Wow, so I don't know if maybe he was trying to hold the grenade. Maybe he had, before he got swallowed, he was going to pull the pin,
Yeah.
whatever. But between him getting eaten and them confronting the shark was a long period of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me that body never
It never
moved further
slid
down?
slid
No,
down.
it
Yeah.
stayed
Stood
right
there the whole time.
the whole
He
time.
already had another body behind it that he had eaten. He was pushing it back.
Oh,
Like
okay.
a boa
35 feet long.
constrictor,
English guy.
you know, like
so
a
now,
snake.
so now we have Dennis Quaid on one side of the shark, the girl on the other side of the shark. He tilts his head and she like smacks him like on the nose a little bit.
Did you see the nose like
Yeah.
compress?
Yeah, and I'm like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that this 35-foot shark is getting the better of these? Like, they're getting the better of this 35-foot shark?
Well,
and he's
he's
trying
full.
to pull.
He's full.
Oh, no, that makes sense.
Full tummy.
There was so much.
When you eat a whole entire human,
he's a little sluggish.
Don't you slow down a little bit?
There was so much about the battle that the humans had with the shark that I'm like, wait a minute. When they're trying to get away from him and they go into like the little capsule thing, and then he gets like one tooth inside the door. And they go out the door.
I wanted to bring that
one tooth.
It was one tooth. I'm like, the fucking mouth is like 2 feet wide.
It's not even that. The nose comes protruding past the teeth.
Yeah.
So the nose would have to go into the door.
It was like a side bite or something.
Because if you do that with the side, the nose would have been flipped back and touched the back of his head.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever.
So many times
you
in
don't
this
know
movie
sharks,
where I'm just
Marco.
looking in awe at what the hell I'm watching.
Who made this goddamn movie.
I'm like, what the hell kind of sharks they got in this universe?
I would not have made that shark float backwards.
Yeah, the only thing that would have made this movie even better than it already is if you maybe put them in like a tornado or something like that. You know what I mean?
Something like that.
Shoot them around out of a tornado.
That movie.
That's such a great movie.
By the way,
That movie, you mean those movies?
Well, those movies, like,
good lord.
How many are there now?
5? 4, 5.
They're absolutely hilarious. It's amazing. They're
yet to
amazing.
see one of them.
Sharknado is superior.
I think we need to do that next time.
Oh, yeah. That's a good, bad movie.
Oh, my God, yeah.
But that movie was made to be that
it was
bad.
totally bad.
Yeah.
There's at least 5, if not more, because then there's Sharknado, Heart of Sharkness, Sharknado Feeding Frenzy.
Heart of Sharkness.
Yeah,
Listen, just look up.
There's Sharknado. And
Just look up
Sharknado
InSeries
2,
IMDb.
Sharknado 3, Sharknado 4, Sharknado 5.
Sharknado die with a vengeance.
We're not done yet.
Shark with a vengeance.
Last Sharknado. The last Sharknado, it's all about time. The hell that means. And then again, there's the Heart of Sharkness and the Feeding Frenzy. So there's a lot of like sequels. And
I love it.
Else
Probably all made by the Cannon Group.
Probably.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
Two
No,
shark,
they're out of
tornado.
business.
Yeah, it's long gone.
88 or 89,
They're
they went
gone.
under.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have to get to the Sharknado franchise at some
Oh,
point.
yeah.
But
That and maybe Piranhaconda.
I've never seen that one.
It's another. They take a giant piranha and put the head on an anaconda.
Yes.
And it like goes through the jungle eating people.
I
It's
love
gigantic.
that.
It's hilarious.
Oh, my God. That's great.
It's so bad. It's good.
I don't know if I could do that.
It's absolutely
You can do it.
terrible.
I believe in
Yeah, the last
it
one
like
so far
comes
is the
down
last
from the top
Sharknado.
and like eats them whole as they're standing there. It's
I
amazing.
love those. I love
really
that
funny.
weird like genre of movie of like, let's just take, I don't know, some sea creature
Yeah.
and just fuck with it.
You know what? There are two
And
or
then
three
just
people
name
with
it some
fucking-
ridiculous title.
Yeah.
And that's it.
They
and
were
I'm like,
hammered or
masterpiece.
fucking
I love it.
faded. There's like 3 a.m. and they're all like,
I got a great idea.
I got an idea. What if we took a piranha and take the head of a piranha, put it on an anaconda, and then we'll make it, through the forest of fucking Africa?
Yeah.
Done. How do we fund this?
How do you fund that?
That must have been one expensive 8-ball.
You ever heard of the movie? Ever heard of the movie Velocipaster?
Oh yes.
Oh, good lord.
What?
It's about a pastor who can turn it to a velociraptor.
I mean, you haven't lived until you've seen these movies.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They
It
are.
hurts my head just listening to that. Like,
Oh,
what?
it's so bad. It's good.
Yeah, it is.
This is one of the greatest.
These are
genres.
cult classics.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
These are the kind of movies
are
you have
masterpieces.
to watch when you're drunk.
They're not even like B movies.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like they haven't invented an
They're
alphabet
just
letter for these movies.
Terrible in every way.
Yeah.
And it's great.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
It's a whole genre of movies, right? Like not just these, like just movies.
Yeah,
that
Sharknado leaned
that
into it.
suck this
Yeah.
bad. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the things that just suck.
Land Shark. That's another good one.
Land Shark.
Land
Land
shark.
Shark.
Land shark.
Knock knock. Who's there? Land
Land
Shark.
Shark.
Candygram.
Candygram. SNL.
Candygram. No, it's not. Land shark.
Mila's like, what?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I'm out of it.
It's
That's
okay.
some of the.
100% out of
Maybe
it.
that one I didn't
that's okay.
find
That
that
happens.
bad, but I'm
You
not.
need to look it up. Watch YouTube. You'll see.
Took me a while. I don't like SNL.
Yeah.
I was never a huge fan, but I was certain skits and certain.
There were definitely certain skits that I was
Sometimes
like,
they hit.
Yeah, sometimes it really hits, and from all the different generations, it's always like
Yeah.
every generation had something that was like, all right, that was
There's a
pretty
bunch
good.
of bad skits, but every once in a while there's some good ones.
It is. It's like they're just throwing everything at the wall to find out what one or two good ones that stick. So, anywho, all right, back to Jaws 3D.
I mean, it wasn't.
So I read that it was originally started as a joke. It was originally
Why didn't
intended
they
to be a
just stick
spoof.
with that? Why didn't
And
they
then
just keep that?
Spielberg, who I think
Continued as a joke.
Continued it as
And
he was
ended
like,
as a
no,
joke.
it's got to be real. Like I think he insisted that it needed to be legit.
This has to happen.
It's got to have.
Was he even part of this movie? Was he?
I thought I read that he had some participation.
Or was he like, don't you dare make this into a joke?
Or he was like, I wonder how far my power is. And he was like, no, this is real. So I was like, we got to do it before Spielberg grabs it. And he just suspected, you guys are idiots. I wasn't really going to do something like that.
Why would you think I would do this?
Why the hell would I continue the franchise?
The worst part about it is, I like some of the other movies that we've shit on. Like, we can find so many things that make it a shitty movie. For this one, it just laid flat on so many things. Like, just
the pacing.
I mean,
the plot.
You had decent actors, so it's not like you could be like, oh well, they had shitty actors. The CGI was bad, but it is what it is. I hate to lean on it, but yeah, the CGI is what it is for that time, right?
Yeah.
They legitimately tried to make like something like real and tried to come off of the coattails of part 1 and even part 2. So people will go on to watch because it is a Jaws movie. It is supposed to be a good movie. And it just fell fucking flat on so many different levels.
Well, they tried to do 3D, and that's hard.
Right.
And they threw 3D elements into it
that didn't need to.
And when there wasn't a shark or some sort of threat on the scene, it was boring.
Slow.
Yeah. It was so boring.
Just going to say that.
Like when there was no sharks on the scene, I was like, I can't watch this right now.
There was no story
I didn't give a shit about the characters.
Nope.
Any of them.
Nope.
Like, at all. Or what was going on inside the park. The dolphins
really
and all that.
I'm
like, who cares?
The relationship between Leah Thompson and the brother, that was kind of weird for me. He meets her that night at the bar. He goes in there. Oh, they do some stupid little balance game. He goes in. And then 2 seconds later, they're literally at the table, and she's like all over him. I'm like, I don't see that happening. And then it was like they fell in love in like 10 minutes. At least it felt like it.
No.
It was poorly written love.
Yeah, that was poorly written.
Poorly written.
Shoehorned in there, yeah.
The whole, and that's the thing that really kind of bothered me about this movie. Just, I wanted more from it because of what it was coming off of.
Yeah.
And it just fell so flat. And Mila, you were absolutely right. If the shark wasn't involved, the scene sucked.
The writing was boring.
Boring.
Yeah, because when you're watching Jaws 1, amazing. Even when there's no shark or threat on the scene, it's amazing on its own.
It was still a good scene.
You are interested in the characters.
Yep.
You feel that sense of urgency, right? You can get behind the drives behind everyone. This, I'm like, I don't even remember your names.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I keep saying,
I don't care that I don't remember your names.
Yeah, I mean,
or who you are.
Let's talk about just a dead kind moment with no sharks. If you look at part 1, and what really pops in my head is they're sitting there at the boat and they're talking about the scars that they have.
Yes, I was just thinking about that one.
And there's not a lot going.
Lifeless eyes.
Right, there's nothing going on. But it was just it was the delivery.
You are entrenched in that scene,
right? And so you're watching the scene and you're watching them talk about the scars and this, and you're really paying attention.
You want to see.
You want to see the scars. You're like, no, let me see them.
The scars. You just want to see a movie about the shit that he went through.
Right.
Yeah.
The story he tells, you're hanging on the story he's telling in this movie.
Right. So it's like, that was amazing.
Really
on this one, it was nothing.
I heard at one point they were going to do that. They were going to make like a quaint backstory movie and kind of have that in there, but obviously now you can't do it because he's gone or whatever.
Yeah.
But
I don't think that would have.
You don't really want to see.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't think I would have wanted to see that.
Because I don't want to get ruined.
Him describing.
Nobody wants to see Jaws 3D, but they still made it.
Yeah.
No, but I'm happy to see
him
just describing it was all I needed. Was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Right. And this one, there's no shock. We have Lou Gossett Jr. having dinner with some rich guy, and I'm like, cool. That VIP lounge that they
for
had.
a few minutes, and then they're like, "You gotta come with me."
Gotta come. But I mean, there was so many things just about.
I mean, it was really poorly written. It looked like it was rushed. Right? They didn't take a lot of time to develop any sort of love interest. They didn't spend any time on it in the movie.
No,
or not enough time to make it feel convincing.
Yeah, I was more disappointed in this movie, than anything else. Again, as far as shitty movies go, it was shitty, but nothing like.
Yeah, but did you expect a version 3 or version 4 to be good? Like I never do. I never expect. I'm always massively surprised if 3, 4, 5 of any movie series is actually decent.
I've actually watched
I think
movies
it's
that they
hard
make
to do.
jokes about themselves when they are the third movie. They'll actually make jokes about
Yeah.
the third movie not being good. It's
Yes.
funny.
Yeah.
They do it in the X-Men series. But with this one, again, because of when it came out and coming on the heels, I mean, Jaws 1 was an awesome movie. Not just a quote-unquote cult classic. No, that was just a
that
good
was
movie.
phenomenal.
Yeah, it
that was an
started-
But
amazing
do you
movie.
think? Do you think that part of the reason you think it was so awesome is because it was kind of the first of its kind at the time with a new?
No, I saw
a
this
new
3
take-
weeks ago, and I
a
was
new
like, "This
take
is an
on it.
awesome movie."
Yeah, that,
No.
and I'm like coming from someone who like didn't go like, oh my god, the graphics are amazing. You know, coming from that and then seeing it like in this like day and age, it's still amazing.
Yeah.
It's
Well, because
like
there are no like special effects.
There are
Yeah.
none. It's
Yeah.
like we
It's
I
like-
mean, except for the toy shark.
Yeah,
that's still-
but
that's
even
the
that
fact.
shark looked pretty legit. Like,
It's still
Yeah.
practical, meaning it's not like CGI'd into there. It's just,
Right.
yeah, you're not
Also when-
seeing like floating
Yeah.
bones in the middle of the screen.
Yeah.
You're like, what
and
the
something
hell?
they did a lot more in the first movie than they did the other two movies was like that like ominous like red cloud of blood in the ocean.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they're dragged down and then all you see is just red
Yeah.
come up.
I-
They didn't do that a lot in the second and third movie.
no, this
At
movie
all
they
in
didn't
the
do it
third
well
one.
either, 'cause
At
they did
all in
some
the
of it.
third one, and then maybe once or twice in the second one.
They did a bunch in the third, I thought.
Yeah, there was a bunch of it didn't look good.
It just
Yeah,
didn't-
no,
it
it
looked-
was like a
the
tiny
3D
little
when they're
bit
doing the 3D,
underwater,
little
kind of like.
globules
yeah.
that look
I think the biggest difference between part 1 and part 3 is in part 1 I think was more storytelling. Like you didn't need to see the shark at all times. Like
Yeah.
you didn't need to. You saw a
they
couple.
created
you-
the fear.
Yeah.
They did such a great job on the storytelling that you saw that fin, and that's really all you needed. You saw the fin, you're like, yeah, I'm good. I'm not going back in the water. I see the fin. So when you actually get to see the shark, you're like, holy shit. And this one, I feel like that they had to lean into the shark more because if they didn't have the shark,
There was no fear.
Yeah.
There was no fear. Like you
Yeah.
said, Mila,
And they had to make
no
the 3D
shark, there's no
aspect of it.
story.
Right.
So I think just the storytelling in itself, as well as just the bad story being written, but just the storytelling of the shit, you know? 'Cause, I mean, you could tell a bad joke, but if you tell it well enough, people will laugh. It's all about the delivery.
It's all in delivery.
Right,
Yeah.
so and you know,
Yeah.
so one of the things you always pin stuff on is like, all right, the director, right? Because the director
Yeah.
creates one. So the person who directed this movie has a history, not a long.
Of doing shit movies?
No, he was like art direct. You know how many movies he directed?
2.
One.
Oh, this one.
This is it. This is the only directing credit.
We're giving
he
you
has.
one shot.
One
Don't
shot.
fuck it up.
You had one job.
And lo and
You
behold,
fucked it up. But
Personally,
again,
I
lean back to
can't-
the fact
I
that it
can't
made
blame
money.
I can't blame it on him though. Like the writing, I think was what the writing gave you the bad development of character, the bad love interest, the sort of the bad storyline altogether. I don't think it was his fault as director, although he holds some responsibility. But you know,
you gotta make me
the
believe it
graphics-
visually.
Yeah, the graphics.
Yeah.
Were not great, and I think this was 3D before 3D was really developed, right? So they were trying to make it.
Yeah, it wasn't what 3D technology is now.
Right.
It's
Just
not.
because
and
it
then they
existed
tried to
did not mean it was, like-
manufacture. Tried to manufacture 3D opportunities.
I feel like there was
Right,
other
but-
3D movies around. Maybe not.
I
3D,
think Jason
3D,
three-
but later there was just a little bit better.
But here's the thing, though. If you take the 3D out of it, because for me, I could either, you know, take
I would
it,
rather them take the 3D out.
Right.
Yeah,
but
it
I'm
would've
saying,
been
though,
better.
Take
I
it,
thought it was distracting.
take it or leave it
Yeah.
with the 3D. The movie's still the movie with or without the 3D.
Yeah.
So that's what I said. People are like, oh, well, that ruined it. Well, no, not really. Because if you take that 3D aspect out of it,
Yeah.
it's still a shit movie.
It's still
Yeah.
crap.
It's still, you know.
So I mean, it comes down to the
It's
writing.
still a
I've said it
flat movie,
before.
right?
Yeah.
It's about that
And
writing.
this is where you're like, yeah, like you
Did
just
the
said.
writer hurt your heart one time?
Oh yeah.
Hurt
Oh,
your
lots
soul?
of writers hurt my
Okay.
soul.
Yeah, Bruno's all about the writing. And
I mean, because writing will transcend any bad other stuff, right? Good writing, you could have. All right, so have you guys ever seen the movie Locke? Locke. It's Tom Hardy.
no.
He spends the entire movie in a car driving. That's it. That's the whole movie.
Okay.
And it's amazing.
Kind of like Phone Booth.
I never saw
Colin
Phone Booth.
Farrell.
Okay.
The whole movie.
I'll have
he
to
spent-
check it out.
It's actually a really good movie. He spends the entire movie in a phone booth.
Yeah, I'll have to look at it.
or 12 Angry Men takes place in only one room.
So good
really good when
writing,
you can do something like that.
despite the action, despite this, can keep you in that movie. It can keep you in that story. Like you're developing. The acting's got to be pretty good, right? Because
Yeah.
you can't just have bad acting. But like that writing is super important. So for me, if you can't have bad writing that is saved by good actors. Good actors elevate a good script,
Right.
but they can't. You know, it's kind of like you can't out-exercise a bad diet.
Sure.
Right? If you're eating like crap, you're not going to have abs. But if you have the same thing, if you have a bad script, a good actor is going to make it a little better, kind of palatable.
So my question is, doesn't the director have some influence, not only directing the actors to make them better, but within the script? All right, this doesn't work. Give me a rewrite. Like, this is just not. This is
I'm
crap.
sure, but I don't know for sure.
I don't know either. That's why
I suspect that scripts are already pre-written. And then they're changed as directors come on and say, no, let's redo this part.
Right,
let's
because
redo
you hear
that
a lot
part.
of times nowadays the directors leave because they had
don't like the
creative
script.
differences in the script and things like that.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they want to say, we want to change it like this, and maybe the movie house says, no, we're going to keep it as is or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'd imagine there's some say, but like if you've got bad writers who create a script like that, I don't know how much leeway you have as a director. I think you're just all right, I got to make this turd ball better.
Yep.
And that might not be easy to do.
Yeah.
So good
Welcome
writing.
back, Larry.
Good writing is what I lean on.
Thanks.
Lean on the good writing.
So, the moment that you said talking about the movie Lock, as I was walking away, I thought right away of phone booth. So it's funny that I heard you say that. I was like, it's exactly about phone booth. So if you have a good story,
Doesn't matter where you're at.
You need it to be delivered properly, right?
Sure, that helps a lot.
You need it to be delivered properly. You need the director to do it properly. Because you got to think like, I could tell you, all right, Bruno, I need you to walk from here to that wall. I don't give you any direction. You're just going to walk from here to the wall. But I'm going to say, all right, listen, but what I want you to do, though, is I want you to take, 10 steps, look to your left, walk this way. This is what... So when we see crap movies, it's not just a story. Because I could tell you, walk from here to the wall. But as the director, I got to go, I want you to do it in a certain way. And you as the actor take what I say. You take the story and you kind of portray it in a way that you as the actor is supposed to be doing it. So I think when we see flat movies like that, like this, you can't just pinpoint. And I don't think anybody really is doing that, right? You can't just pinpoint it on one thing or that. It's this, it's that. When you have flat movies like that, it's
all around the board.
It's everything. It's the poor story. It's poor direction. And, and I got to say, like, as the actor.
Really, from his first time director, you didn't see that coming?
Yeah.
No, for sure, the director has some level of responsibility. I would never deny that. I'm just saying he wasn't an experienced director.
Right.
So not a good choice, number one. But then again, it's fucking Jaws 3. So who gives a shit if it goes off the rails? And it did make $87 million at an expense of only $20 million, right? So you're talking about $67 million.
And I wonder if a lot of that is like the 3D aspect of like everybody wanted to go see this 3D.
I think
love Jaws, so there's a little nostalgia built in.
Yeah. I mean, you're
Jaws plus 3D. You kind of want to go see it.
This brand new director made $67 million in 1983.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty good.
That's pretty fucking good.
Damn good.
Right? This shitty script with these decent actors made $67 million. So, like, what I was saying before while you were gone was, like, a good actor can elevate a bad script a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
And I kind of feel like that's what they did here. They made it from, like, super, super terrible to, okay. Like, all right. It's kind of palatable. It made $87 million, and we're good to go. But like, if it had been a good script with those good actors, it would have made $200 million.
Easy.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Because then you're going to recommend it to other people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
This is kind of like we made.
Because this is solely. I'm pretty sure solely based on A, the word Jaws. B, the phrase 3D.
Yeah.
There you go. That's where the money's coming from.
I mean, Jaws 3D sounds pretty freaking terrifying.
Then you're going to want to invite others to come to it.
Not for nothing.
After you've seen it, you're not going back to see it, and you're definitely not asking.
Let me tell you something.
You'll just
if
not
somebody
talk about
came
it
out
again.
today and said, "Hey, want to go watch Jaws 3D?" My ass is going to see Jaws 3D.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
I've
today,
never seen it.
But
Like,
you're
that's
not
pretty
going
cool.
back if it's that movie.
Right, but I mean, it's to go on that. It's
But just
Jaws
that's right.
3D,
Those
Shark
words.
3D.
Yeah.
Fucking A-Red, let's go.
Holy shit, this is going to be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Then you watch it and you're like, ooh.
Yeah. So good concept.
Ooh, it's deep water. Oh well.
Yeah. Oh.
He just promptly forgot about the whole movie.
That movie was
I'm just going to
terrifying.
pretend that didn't
movie.
happen.
That
movie
was
was
a
terrifying,
bad
though.
movie.
The one that was based on real events.
Which movie?
Deepwater.
It was really bad.
Oh, no, wait. Which one's...
The one where the divers disappear.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I was thinking about another movie. It's got LL Cool J.
You're the one with Christian. What's his name? Christian Slater.
Maybe, possibly. There was like sharks, I think, involved in that too. something divers.
Yeah,
they were all
it was
underwater, science
really weird.
underwater.
They're like super
Deep blue sea.
sharks.
Deep blue, was that it?
Yeah.
No,
Are you looking at it
There's
now?
a shark
Okay.
on it, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna
there's
assume
like-
it's
there's like
that one.
super
And
sharks or
LL Cool
something.
J's in it.
Super
so.
sharks.
Super
I
sharks.
don't know.
They're like genetically engineered, like really fast and really.
Yeah, it was
They, like-
basically shark. If Jurassic World met Jaws,
Great.
that's what they did.
Let's, for anybody out there who might be a geneticist, let's not do that.
Let's not do that. Listen, we're more worried about whether we can, not whether we should.
yeah.
Let's
We
go
would
with a
figure
no.
that out.
Let's go with a no.
Yes. I can't wait till next Sunday. I gotta find out my answers to why the fuck the dinosaurs have taken over the Earth and how we let that happen.
I think we failed to press the nuclear button right
Again.
before
We have to
that.
get out our rifle
Yep.
and shoot them.
Yeah.
That's all. Just shoot them.
I feel like this is an easily solvable problem.
But you can't
Roll
nuke the whole
Roll
planet to take
credits.
them out.
There you go.
Drop the
They were on an island at
ready?
one
30-second
point.
movie.
Here's what happens.
Done.
Someone rushes into the control room. Commander, we've got an issue. What's wrong? We've got dinosaurs on a goddamn island. Right. Hello, Mr. President. This is Commander XYZ. Can we nuke this island? Yes, you may.
Who the fuck named you
Go
XYZ?
for it.
Let's go there.
And press the button. Big, mushroom cloud. Roll credits. Like
It's a wrap.
That's the whole fucking
No,
movie.
the island was going to kill itself. The island was destroying itself. That wasn't the problem. This idiot wanted to get these dinosaurs off the island to sell them to people.
Yeah.
Sell the genetic
Because that's what
parts
you
to-
do in the black market. You sell shit like that.
That's what you do. But the fact that a few dinosaurs got out of the mansion, one of each kind,
Who would have thought?
one of each kind of dinosaur, right? Not even all of them, but one of each kind got out. Somehow procreated and made more of the same kind.
Nature finds a way.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Tagline.
You have to because, you know what I mean? But there's still the genetic, like, Dr. Wu was still out there doing his shit, so that's pretty much where that. I'm sure that's how they're going to explain it away.
All I'm gonna do
Because the
is
military
just assume
still
it's
has
him.
Dr. Wu, right? D'Onofrio's people, not him, he died, but his people still have Dr. Wu and the genetic material to make more. So that's where they make more dinosaurs.
What could possibly go wrong?
Sure. Okay, but they're starting to get out there. All right, they're out there. Oh shit! Just fucking shoot them.
Yeah,
Just shoot 'em.
Just mobilize all the drones, or
Just
or
mobilize and
send a
Find
few,
a big gun.
Send 3 or 4 battalions over there.
With
Just
all
take them
the,
out.
you know, it's like they say with like the zombies, right? The zombie apocalypse happens. You know how many guns are in this country?
Right? Yeah.
Just go
Yeah.
to
I hear
work
that all
shooting
the
people
time.
left and right. I'm
All
good.
right, question for you: what if guns don't kill them?
In the head.
If a zombie's already
Flamethrower,
dead, it's
dun-dun-dun-dun.
animated.
Isn't like every zombie thing is like where you take their head out, like you cut
And
their
they're
head
dead.
out.
Set them on fire.
But what if it's a
That's
zombie?
why I don't like
They
zombies.
What
can't
if it's
come
the
after
kind
you
of
if they're
zombie that
ashes.
doesn't ever die? Like you cut it in half and its pieces are chasing you.
Just cut off the arms and legs.
Is this Army of Darkness?
You have to, yeah. You have to burn them up, I guess.
Yeah, burn them, cut off the arms, cut
Hail
off
to
the
the
legs.
king, baby.
Yeah,
Cut off the legs. How fast they move.
And then
with
you're
the
good.
arms.
Then you're good. No, they can crawl after you, man.
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
fine,
we've
but-
all watched The Walking
I
Dead,
can move a little faster than that.
Oh yeah.
which this is why I hate zombie shows, movies. It just shoot them in the head, cut their head off.
But that's what they do.
That was the issue I had with Walking Dead. Like they're super slow. Like almost like the zombies were a second thought. They're like, oh, we got some
Well,
zombies.
it is-
Stab.
it is a
Okay,
second thought in that
they're
show,
taken care of,
on
and then
purpose.
we got some other shit going
Well,
on.
then you
I
have
like
fast
the World War Z
zombies.
zombies. Those guys
Well,
were like, we're gonna
because
come
the World
fucking
War
get you.
Z
I know we're way off the
Sprinting
Jaws track
zombies.
here, but like in
Jesus.
the
Yeah,
in
that
the,
was
in the
terrifying.
Walking Dead stuff, remember it was a comic first. So you got to make this last.
Yeah.
forever. Versus World
Yeah.
War Z is a 2-hour movie. Let's make really fast zombies, and that's kind of cool. But you have to make it last because it can't just be zombie. It has to be about the people.
No, I
It's
get
about the
it.
relationships and the people and how they rebuild their world and and every once in a while a zombie comes in and fucks up their day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the
I
show
feel
is
like
the
you're
same.
kind of
Although when you
selling
see
me.
them-
You're selling me something different, right? You're telling me it's called The Walking Dead. I'm gonna be and I like
Yeah.
zombies. I'm going for the zombies.
Who are the Walking Dead?
Ooh, wow, hot. Deep,
Deep, baby.
Dead man walking. They're zombies.
Pretty much. Well, remember, everybody has the potential to be a zombie because it's in them, and they only turn a zombie when they die. They don't have to be bitten or scratched by a zombie. You automatically turn into a zombie when you die in that show.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
I did not know that.
It's a virus.
Yeah, it was like
and
an
it's
airborne
in you,
thing.
and once you
That's
die,
why they have to go to the
activates it.
CDC. No, really, they do.
And that got blown up.
Yep. So for me, for The Walking Dead, I was never into zombies. It sucked. I started watching it because the person I was with, the other person I was with, they were like, "Hey, let's watch this." I was like, "I don't like zombies," and they were like, "Well, I want to watch it." I went, "Well, tough shit. I don't want to watch it," and we traded off. They watched Sons of
You
Anarchy.
compromised and you watched it.
Well, they watched Sons of Anarchy,
That's how it works.
and I watched Walking Dead. I say this, and I always say that that Walking Dead was very lucky that I got through the first season because that sucked. It was slow. Then I got into it, and I think it was like season 4 maybe, or season 3, when I figured out that they went back to the center. I was like, wait a minute, they've never left Atlanta? They're still in the same spot. Fuck you. You're walking around in circles. Kiss my dick.
They're walking around.
I'm out.
Nobody has a map.
I mean, they ended up, and I was like, wait a minute. Is that the same tank that Rick was in like episode 2 or 3? They went, yeah. And I went, oh, this show sucks.
This is horrible.
They just keep going around in circles around the block. Well, you're never going to get anywhere if you do that.
But they're so slow you can do it and get away.
Stop taking a right. Take a left eventually.
Damn it, there's another right.
Go.
another
You know
right
what?
there.
Let's spice it up. Let's
What
walk
is
the
this,
Pennsylvania.
NASCAR?
You know, just
Yeah.
walk somewhere else.
NASCAR. He's taking another right turn. What's he
Yeah,
doing
that-
now?
that
Taking
show-
another right turn.
For me, that
They
show,
only go left. They only go left.
That's only left. They're taking another left turn.
show sucked.
Yeah. Anyway,
Anyway.
back to Jaws.
Back to Jaws.
Final notes on Jaws 3D.
Disappointingly boring.
I'd give it one. One mic.
One mic.
One mic, huh?
Yeah, I'd give it 1.
I'll give it one shark's tooth.
I'm going to give it a mic and a half. I can't even lie about that. It's a mic. The way that they closed the movie pissed me off.
Yep.
Why?
The 2 twirling dolphins?
Oh my God.
The
yeah.
Disney aspect of the end?
That's how they closed the
Come on.
They
was a
literally
little
You didn't
they
know
did
the other
bullshit.
dolphin
They
lived.
did the
It was a
freeze
happy bullshit.
frame.
Yeah.
Like
Like
they
happy
still
go
care
lucky.
about the dolphins or the people.
They're in
No.
the
The
water.
dolphins helped to save them.
It was, you know what
Come
it
in and
was?
slap
It
in the
was
water and-
it was the equivalent of the jump with the fist pump in the
Yes.
air freeze frame.
Yeah, that
It was all
it.
the 80s.
That was what I thought
That's
of.
what,
yeah.
I saw that dolphin go up and do the twirls, and I went,
No.
and that's what I went.
I mean, they
"You
stopped short of
asshole."
plastering SeaWorld all over the bottom of it.
Yeah, that movie, it was so disappointing. Like, it sucked, but nothing like.
It wasn't even a good campy bad.
Yeah,
it was
like, it's just
boring.
bad.
You had to know that the other dolphin lived.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
were, you know,
they were
ones that
fighting on the
saved-
side of good.
They were, that's right. And then one looked like it got killed. You never see it, but it looked like it was going to get taken out by the.
I mean,
Oh,
after
no.
all, they did try to save the divers.
Yeah.
They were trying to warn them,
Yeah.
get away.
It's funny.
Get away,
I actually
baby.
think
Get away.
the only character
Quit
I
burning.
The
liked.
dolphins were attacking the shark. Not attacking, but they were like
They were
hitting
poking.
it. They're poking the
The
shark.
thing is, the only character I
That's what
liked
you're supposed to do to a shark. You
was
punch in the nose, pull back your bloody stump.
unless it's like 32 feet long. But there was the one character that I liked was you know when the people were like trapped in the water tunnel.
Yeah.
And the tour guide was amazing.
She was great.
She was awesome.
She needs a raise.
She needs a raise.
Calming
Yeah.
everybody down.
She's calming everyone down. All right, everyone stay huddled
Yeah,
together.
she's like,
keep
the
yourselves
water's no
warm.
longer rising.
Make sure you take
Yeah.
shallow breaths. Yeah, the water's not rising anymore. It's okay. We're going to be okay.
I've been trained for this.
I'm like, damn, she's like the one competent person
In this entire
whole
spark,
movie,
yeah.
and she's trapped in a water tunnel.
They could use her on the outside doing
Yeah.
shit.
She earned. I think the orange shirt makes her a supervisor. She earned that supervisor's
She did.
Absolutely.
position.
She did, yeah. She did a great job.
Yeah,
I thought.
she's
I
the
noticed
one
that too,
character-
like,
the
she's
one
very
character
well
I
put
liked.
together. She's keeping this under control.
I mean, not for
She
nothing.
did
When
the
those,
right thing,
when those doors
Oh, yeah.
finally opened, people didn't barrel ass out. I mean, a little bit,
little
but
bit,
she
but then we got
kind of said,
trampled.
"Hey,
Tell me that you wouldn't be like, I am out of here. Get the fuck
that
out of my
that old
way.
Especially if you
lady.
were carrying
Yeah,
your
I'm out of
kids.
here."
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm out the gate.
You're out there carrying your kid. You just stepped on the old lady's neck.
Yeah, you did.
To get out of there.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, that
Absolutely.
movie's bad.
Oh, that was
just-
that. Yeah. No,
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
it.
I agree.
That's
I
it.
agree with you 100%. She was pretty good.
Yeah.
And just to watch her because
a
like
shame
5
she
minutes
wasn't
in,
the
people
main
like starting to eat each
character.
other. Like, we've only been here 5 minutes. We survived. We got to find a pee corner. Like we've been here 5 minutes. Relax.
2 out of 10 would not watch.
That's right. All right, awesome. Thank you, everybody. There's our review on Jaws 3D. All right, we'll get offline. We're going to talk about some other things, what our next rants will be for the next one, and we'll have some fun. So, as always, thank you, Mila.
Thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you.
And thank you, Bruno.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Always a good sign off from Bruno. All right, everybody. We are Entertainment Rants at entertainmentrants.com. Find us online at our social media at Entertainment Rants. Engage with us through email at engageentertainmentrants.com. Like how I did that there. All right, everybody. Keep on ranting.